Revenge films.
I go to a certain high school, but I'm what most people would call a loser. I'm always alone in the corner of the classroom. That being said, it's not like I'm bullied or anything like that. I'm just living my life as a loner on my own terms. One day, when I went to school as normal, someone well known as the bad girl of our class, named Mindy Graham, was there. Mindy was in the same class as me, and her assigned seat was also right in front of me. She would always turn around.
You're seriously so lame. Your hair is messy, and why don't you at least change your glasses to contact lenses? You look like a nerd.
And laugh at me. She could have just left my loser self alone, but instead, at any opportunity, she would turn around and talk at me. But one day, that Mindy was holding an elderly woman's hand, and she slowly climbed up the stairs to a crossing bridge.
Oh, well, thank you, young lady. Aren't you going to be late to school now? Oh, please, don't worry about that. More importantly, please be careful that you don't fall over, Grandma. Thank you, sweetie. You've been carrying my bags, too. I also have a grandma at home with back problems, so I'm used to it.
At school, Mindy had a bad mouth. She dressed and acted like a bad girl gangster. She had a sharp tongue. Even against guys.
Hey, you just bumped into my friend, didn't you? Where's your sorry?
She had no trouble speaking up against anyone. That's why this was the first time I ever saw her doing something nice. And I was shocked. That girl, she may have a bad mouth, but I guess she's a good person. As I was thinking that and walking up the stairs, Mindy noticed me.
Oh, great timing, loser. Here, hold my bags for me.
What? Why should I have to?
Huh? Do you not see the situation and understand? Now hurry up and hold it.
Sure. For some reason, I ended up helping Mindy and the elderly lady. And even after we got down from the pedestrian bridge, she made me hold her bag. By the time we got to school, we were late. Hey, Graham! You're late again!
Oh, come on, who cares? You're so annoying.
What? Harrison? You're late too? I bet Graham put you up to this anyway. Oh, no. We were just helping someone in need, me and Miss Graham. Is that the truth?
How awful! You don't even believe your students.
Mindy was a frequent lateness offender, and she would even leave early some days whenever she felt like it. That's why I can understand why the teacher would doubt her, but for some reason, she gets along with everyone in the class. That must be because of her bright personality.
What happened, Mindy? Did you oversleep or something today?
Huh? Obviously not. I found an old lady on the way, so I was just helping her go up and down the stairs with her stuff.
That's definitely a lie.
I'm actually telling the truth, with Harrison.
What? Don't look at me!
Huh? Yeah, right. No way you came with that loser Harrison. That's hilarious. What a complete mismatched pair.
Everyone around me always makes fun of me for being a loner, but I'm used to it by now.
Well, yeah, Harrison is a loser, isn't he? But he did hold my bags for me, so he's not a bad kid.
When Mindy said that, the rest of them went quiet and looked over at me like they were amazed for some reason. That day, when class was over, she turned around again and said,
You're seriously so lame. Do you have any interest in fashion or clothes? And your face is hidden because of that mop on your head. Do you want me to introduce you to a hairdresser I know?
And then she got up and tried to touch my hair, so I quickly dodged her.
Come on, just show me your face.
No, I don't want to. Just leave me alone. You don't need to cover for me.
You're sitting here fully exposing your loser self. You can't expect anyone to leave you alone or not try to help you. I'm interested in you too, you know.
Well, I'm not. I didn't want anyone to take care of me or even look at me. I gathered my things and tried to hurry out when the teacher stopped me. I'm sorry, Mitch. There's something I want you to help me with. Do you have a minute? Yes, sure. I ended up following my teacher out of the classroom. A few hours later, I was finally walking home around 6:30 p.m. when suddenly...
Stop it! Let me go!
I thought I heard Mindy's voice, so I went down a different road off the path on the way to my house. There, I saw Mindy and two guys I had never seen before. I'm just telling you to go out with me, you know, for a little bit. I'm sure you'd be happy to be able to date me anyway.
Huh? Are you kidding me? over a long time ago. You're disgusting. Now let go of me.
What did you just say? It was obvious that she was uncomfortable, and it seemed like the guy must have been her ex-boyfriend. I wasn't sure whether it was my place to get in between the two of them as they were arguing, and was thinking about it until... Who the hell are you? You want something from me or what? The ex-boyfriend took note of my presence down the street. Mindy looked over and had a terrified look on her face.
You idiot! What are you doing here? This isn't even on your way home.
I was actually just on my way home when I heard some voices over here. Who's this loser? Don't tell me this is your boy.
No, he's not. This guy is just someone in my class. No, come on. Get lost and go home.
Wow, he's so lame. Can he even see it? His head looks like a bird's nest. I've never seen anything like it. You're right. He must be some kind of nerd. Aw, if we bully you a little bit, are you gonna cry? I'm pretty sure Mindy is uncomfortable. Would you mind taking your hands off of her? Huh? What did you just say to me?
Hey, Harrison, what are you saying? You don't need to worry about me. I'm telling you to hurry up and get away.
My words must have triggered him, but his hand that was tightly gripping Mindy's arm suddenly released and headed straight towards me. But then, at that moment,
Run, Harrison!
and before I could wrap my head around the situation, Mindy had grabbed my arm and we were running as fast as we could away from them. The guys that were left behind couldn't catch up to us, and they eventually gave up on chasing after us. Damn it! The next time you see me, you better know what's coming! I heard them yelling behind us after we ran for a while and felt safe.
You idiot! I told you to hurry up and get away! Why didn't you go?
Because you were uncomfortable, weren't you? And it didn't seem like you could get away. So I thought that if I left you, then they might try to take you somewhere.
It doesn't matter what happens to me. This guy is my ex-boyfriend, but he does boxing as a hobby. He's seriously strong. That's why a loser like you definitely can't go anywhere near him.
But weren't you uncomfortable? Or were you actually happy about it?
Excuse me? As if! When that guy was dating me, I found out that he had another girl, and I was so angry. That's why I ended things with him. But it turns out he just broke up with that girl, so he came to me, saying until he finds the next one that he'll tolerate being with me.
You're being treated like that, and you're okay with it?
Of course not! But no matter how much I hate it, if he really were to attack me, I also know that there's no way I'd stand a chance against him. Anyway, bottom line is, you better not go anywhere near him, okay? And if you see him, you run away immediately, you understand? Otherwise, he's going to beat you up.
I understand.
Alright, now, let's go home.
After that incident, I went back to my regular life. In class, I was in the shadows of the usual, but regardless, Mindy would come talk to me. That was the daily routine. That is, until one day, as I was walking home from school, I heard Mindy's voice again. As I went to take a look, this time, there were about 5 guys surrounding her and her ex-boyfriend. Yo, Mindy! I think I'll have you go out with me today.
Cut it out with the jokes. How many times do I have to say no?
You really got a bad mouth on you. Even if you have a cute face, with a personality like that, no guy would ever go near you, and I feel bad for you. That's why I was being so nice and offering to be your boyfriend. Plus, wouldn't you be so lucky to have a hot, strong, amazing guy like me as your boyfriend, even for a little bit? You'd be bragging to everyone, I bet.
Are you kidding me? Who would want to be with a piece of crap like you? And either way, there's a guy I'm interested in right now anyway.
Huh? What kind of response is that? I, of all people, am saying that I'll help you and be with you. And what kind of attitude is that, huh? He gave a signal, and the guys standing around all grabbed Mindy's arms and shoulders and restrained her.
Let me go! I said let go!
Mindy was desperately trying to fight back, but surrounded by a few guys much bigger than her and being restrained by them, she didn't stand a chance. Seeing this, the ex-boyfriend grinned. We're going to take her to my apartment just like that. I haven't done it in a while since breaking up with that chick, so it's pretty built up, you know. At that moment, Mindy must have realized what was about to happen to her, and all of the color drained from her face.
No! I don't want to! Let go of me! I said let me go!
She finally started crying and screaming before I realized I had put my hands on the guys who were holding Mindy so tightly. She said she doesn't want to. Now let her go! The words came flying out of my mouth. What the hell is this? You're here again, you loser nerd? Do you not see how many people are here? You had some nerve running away last time, but this is perfect. I was already planning on beating you up today, and here you are. As he kept his grin and laughed. Through her tears, Mindy looked over at me.
You idiot! I told you not to come, didn't I? Don't worry about me, so hurry up and run away while you can!
By this time, she was sobbing, and I could tell she was overwhelmed with the feeling of wanting to make sure I got away, as well as the fear for herself. Listen, loser. That girl is my ex-girlfriend, so I can do as I please with her. He then reached his arm towards Mindy, so I immediately grabbed it and twisted it. Ow! Let go! The ex-boyfriend squealed. I did as he said and let go, and his face turned bright red. Who do you think you are? As he looked ready to pounce on me at any moment, I put Mindy behind me. This is dangerous, so you stay back!
You're the one that's in danger! You're a loner! Stop trying to act tough! Let's just run away and come on!
She said. But after taking a hit from me, the ex-boyfriend was furious, and with a hot red face, hey, let's kill this kid! No holding back! Show him! In that moment, one of the guys in the group turned towards me and threw a cup full of juice from the fast food spot in my face. It went straight into my eyes and it burned! Take that! As I was squinting, the ex-boyfriend smirked and kicked my stomach with full strength. As if to jump in on that, all of the other guys lunged towards me at once.
Ah! Stop it! Just stop!
I heard Mindy's voice somewhere in the distance, but a few moments later, her ex-boyfriend went flying across the pavement. One by one, I took down the other idiots, and within a matter of minutes, every guy besides me was shriveled up on the ground. I brushed back my hair that was soaked in the juice. Ugh. Thanks to that cup of cola, my hair's all sticky now. I was the only one left standing, besides Mindy, who was staring at the scene around her in disbelief.
Wait, what? What just happened? Did you beat all of these guys up?
She was in a slight panic. I went over to her idiot ex-boyfriend, who was rolling around on the ground. You were saying some things and treating Mindy like she wasn't a human. But she's a good girl who can treat even an elderly person in need of help with respect. Don't you dare put her on the same level as a piece of crap like you, I said, and walked away. All of the guys were hurt from head to toe and couldn't stand up. Oh! Oh! Then, as the ex-boyfriend slowly tried to get up, he looked over at me with my hair pulled back, and his face went completely pale. Wait, that scar on your forehead and that face, are you Mitch Harrison? No way, there's no way! There were question marks all over Mindy's head.
Huh? What? Do you know him? It's Harrison.
What's a guy like you doing dressed like this in a place like this? How was I supposed to do?
I'm asking you if you know Harrison or not.
Yeah, everyone knows that in the town next to us, this guy's the strongest of anyone. He was pretty famous, never lost a single fight, a lone wolf, is always alone. But one day, he suddenly disappeared from the town. No matter how or where people looked, they couldn't find him. And he had become something like an urban legend. But why are you here right now?
Oh, wait, I didn't know that at all.
Me and my past, they don't matter. More importantly, don't ever think about coming anywhere near Mindy again. If you do, I won't be quiet about it. You hear me? I get it. So please let me go. I never in my wildest dreams thought I'd ever get to fight you. The guys all picked themselves up and crawled away. Once we were the only ones left.
What are they saying? Is that true?
Yeah, it's true. But I don't want to talk about it. Those guys will probably never come near you again. But be careful on your way home.
Huh? But wait a minute.
When I put the nail in the coffin, she looked like she wanted to say something. But in the end, just nodded her head and said,
Sure.
And so, I left Mindy and went home. I'm sure that stupid ex-boyfriend won't bother her again. and all I have to do is go back to being a loser and sit in the corner of the classroom. That's what I thought. But the next morning, on my way to school, Mindy was standing there waiting for me.
Come here. I need to talk to you.
She said, so I followed her.
I can't help it. I don't understand why you were pretending to be so weak, or why you're purposely acting like a loser.
I told you I don't want to talk about that, didn't I? I glared at her, almost as if to threaten her. Most people, when I did that to them, would jump in their pants and run away. But instead, Mindy said,
You know, there's no use glaring at me like that until you tell me yourself. I'm never going to give this up.
Her eyes were pointed at me like laser beams, and it seemed like she would actually start stalking me. So I ended up letting out a big sigh, and I surrendered. Fine. A smile lit up across her face. We moved to a quiet nearby park and sat down on the bench, and I decided to tell her about myself. 1 year ago, I was always getting into fights. Of course, I had never lost, so every day, these guys were coming after me to challenge me, and I was taking them down. I was always alone. But then there was just one guy, my only friend, Sam, who understood who I really was.
I never would have guessed. Looking at you, I still can't picture it, but I guess I saw that you really are that strong.
So Sam was a guy who had never been in a single fight before. He was the complete opposite of me, and the type to get scholarships from sports. He was amazing at everything he did. But then, some guys who lost in fights against me found out that Sam and I were friends. Then, on a day when he had a really important match that would determine his scholarship, those guys found Sam, and instead of me, beat him nearly to death. Because of that, Sam broke his arm and wasn't able to compete, and he lost his scholarship.
Wow, that's awful.
Of course, I went to go visit him in the hospital, but his parents were there and cursed me. They told me to never go near his son again. After that, Sam moved to a different town, and I haven't seen him since.
What happened to those guys that beat your friend Sam up?
I found them all and gave them a taste of their own medicine.
I see.
But I can never forgive myself for getting Sam involved like that. That's why I stopped fighting, and I decided to live the rest of my life in the shadows.
I mean, that was definitely awful, but that wasn't your fault either, you know?
But this was the result of all the fights I'd been in.
Even then, that shouldn't mean that you don't get to see your best friend that means so much to you.
It's fine. I already accepted it. I told her what she wanted to hear, and figured that was enough. So I got up to leave. Mindy sat there looking like she wanted to say something, but I headed back towards school. However, even though she would normally turn around to diss me every single day, I didn't know what she was busy doing. But she didn't talk to me at all that day, nor the next day, or the day after that either. After school, for some reason, she would run out of the classroom. I had no idea what on earth Mindy was doing that she was in such a rush for. But when I thought maybe she was no longer interested in me, it was a strange feeling. No, my life is a lot quieter now. This is for the best. That's what I kept telling myself. But then one day, Mindy came running towards me with her cell phone in hand.
I finally found him, so you better talk.
And she shoved her phone into my hands. I had no idea what was going on, as I answered the phone and heard a familiar voice on the other end. It's been a while, Mitch. What? Sam? Is that you? My heart was beating so fast, I thought it was going to jump out of my chest. But it was definitely Sam. I didn't know what to say. But first I got the words out that I've been wanting to say to him for a long time. It was all my fault. I'm so sorry. Took you long enough, didn't it? I thought you would reach out to me a lot sooner, and I was waiting, but you were running away from me. How unlike you. But come on! After doing that to you, there was no way I could! But I was waiting for you all this time. Even after my parents suddenly decided to transfer schools, I thought someday you would come find me. You're late. I'm sorry, but you know what? I'm actually really super happy right now. Of course, I was disappointed that I missed my opportunity at the sports scholarship, but my arm is fully healed, and I'm still doing archery. And I also have a cute girlfriend now. Looks like you've got one too. Huh? Oh, she's nothing. She just sits in front of me. It's not like that at all. She was the one that came looking for me and found me, isn't she? All she had was my first name and my old school. But she went through a lot of people and finally found me before coming to meet me herself. What? Mindy did? Yeah. And she told me that you've been depressed about what happened to me. That you felt so guilty over hurting your best friend and the only person that mattered to you. And that you became a loser that sits in the corner of the classroom in the shadows. And then she asked me to please forgive you. She's an amazing girl, you know. Yeah, she's a really nice and good girl, even though she's got a bad mouth. That's true. She was a bit flashy and rough with her words. Where did you catch her? I wouldn't say I caught her, but she sits in front of me in class and would always talk to me. And one day, she ran into some trouble with her ex-boyfriend, so I see. And that's why you opened up the dusty box and got into a fight after suppressing it for so long. All for her. Well, yeah, but that's not why. Yeah, we'll keep an eye out. I think a big change will definitely come to you both soon. Shut up! I got to speak to my best friend Sam about all kinds of things after that, for the first time in a year. When we wrapped up the conversation, Mindy must have gone somewhere out of consideration, and she peeked back around the corner.
Have you finished making up?
Yeah, thanks. For a lot of things. I'd been running away from Sam, and I was finally able to face him. It's all thanks to you. But why did you go through all this trouble just for me?
You helped me the other day, didn't you? It's to thank you for that, so don't worry about it.
Well, sure, I guess I helped you. But it must have been really hard to find Sam. I heard you spent days looking for him.
Well, that's because it was for you.
Huh? What does that mean?
Nothing!
At the end, Sam told me to live my truth, and I graduated from being a loser. Up until now, my hair had been messy, and I kept my face hidden. But once everybody could see my face, there were a few people here and there who knew who I was. I'm very sorry for teasing you and calling you a loser all this time. Some would apologize, and some would even lose their footing and fall over when they saw me. I also felt like girls were looking at me differently. But the one thing that changed the most was my relationship with Mindy. Recently, I find myself waiting for her by the shoeboxes even when she's late with class duties.
What? You were waiting for me again today? I told you that I was going to be late today.
Looks like it. Come on, let's go.
By the way, do you remember the plans this weekend?
Huh? What was it again?
Sheesh, we made plans to hang out with Sam and his girlfriend, the four of us. The double date, remember?
I didn't make those plans. You and Sam just made them yourselves. But after that incident, apparently Mindy kept in touch with Sam and would talk to him. Recently, she has even become friends with his girlfriend. And it's gotten to the point of a double date. This girl is so social, it really blows my mind.
Why not? You get to see your best friend. Aren't you happy?
I guess so. Mindy is obviously trying hard to get back the 1 year that Sam and I lost in our friendship. Although I'm pretty sure she's half doing it with her own intentions. Sometimes, when we're walking home together like this, we run into that guy, her ex-boyfriend. He was talking such big game to me, but as soon as he found out my true nature, every time... Ah! Help! Help me! The moment he sees me, he runs in the other direction, even though I haven't said or done anything, nor would I do anything. On top of that, maybe he found out that Mindy and I were dating, or he was just that traumatized from getting beaten up by me. But apparently, now he runs away when he sees Mindy as well. I never would have expected that the loser, loner that I was, would let go of that personality, and that I would end up dating the popular girl. But at the very least, after losing my only friend and hiding myself, she was the one that gave it all back to me.
Oh yeah, lately I see lots of girls that are calling you Hot Mitch.
Oh really? I guess some people have strange taste.
Hey, that makes it sound like I have a strange taste.
What do you mean? I completely thought that was the case.
You get on my nerves. It's not like I have strange taste, you know.
Yeah, sure. You just love me, right?
No, how could you say that with a straight face? That's unfair.
What do you mean unfair?
Anyway, more importantly, can you be clear what I am to you?
Huh?
We haven't actually talked about it.
Ah, you mean my Princess Mindy?
Okay, that's pushing it. You're making me nervous.
You're the one that asked.
Shut up, you're so annoying.
She still has a bad mouth, but she gets so red and blushes at everything I say, and it's so cute I can barely handle it.
That reminds me, have you quit fighting now? Looks like you stopped being a loser, so.
Well, it doesn't seem like there's a need to. As of now, nobody's trying to pick a fight with me either.
But if I were ever to be in danger again, would you come and save me again?
I'll leave that up to your imagination.
Hey, I'm your girlfriend! You need to protect your girlfriend at all costs!
You always seem to be fine on your own, though.
Obviously, a girl would want her strong boyfriend to be saved. Get the hint.
With her puffy red cheeks, I think my girlfriend is the cutest thing in the entire world. I hope she never has to deal with a dangerous situation again. But in the event that that ever happens, I bet I would throw everything away and do whatever it takes to save her.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.